Glover. I had him on a platform a few months ago. Good dude, man. But I want you to look at an interview that I did with him, a part of the interview, and give me your opinion.
I know he ain't come to my man's funeral, and I was pissed about that. I know that.
Yeah, it seemed like you was real hurt about that.
I was my feelings were shattered because I always felt like no matter what, you respect the dead. You know what I mean? No matter what. And you're this man's daughter's godfather. Monisha's godfathers are me and Pop. And even the mafia shows up to other mob bosses' funerals. Even if they had them killed, they show up and bring flowers. And you was that salty that you didn't show up, and I'm holding her, and she's asking me where Uncle Tupac at? I was fucking burnt. And I let him know I was burnt about it too. I let him know. Homie, I love you, man, but you really pissed me off with that one.
What was his reaction when you told him that?
He was like, man, me and him wasn't, it wasn't good between us at that time, and blah, blah. Like, my neck, you asked the man to take sides on some shit he couldn't take sides on, man. You know he was cool with Big. You know he cool with you. You know he's still trying to do his own thing. He in the street. Come on, dog. I say you should have still showed up. Man, it was, shit was going on with the trial, and I was like, all right, my nigga. Is that what you want to say about it? Still think it was some fucking bitch ass shit to do.
That's crazy. Well, one, I think for him saying Pac was salty was kind of a little out of line because he had every reason to feel salty. This is a person that he looked at as his best friend. This is a person that he felt Pac felt this way. So you cannot undermine the feelings of Pac because you more closer to Stretch. That's what it seemed like Ed Lover is doing. You know what I mean? But what about Pac saying that nobody had the keys to his wife apartment but Stretch when he got locked up or shot or whatever at the beginning? Somebody entered his wife's house with keys, took all the jewelry. You understand? So Pac thinking like the only person who had a copy of the key was Stretch. Pac felt like stuff wasn't adding up when he got shot the first time. When he got shot, when he got set up. So you can't undermine Pac feelings. You know what I mean? If Pac felt like he had something to do with it, you out of line saying why you ain't coming to the funeral. If that's how Pac feel, then let him feel this way. You know what I mean? So, and Pac, he died feeling like Stretch had something to do with it. He never, why when he was locked up, they never visit him in prison. If that's your man. What Pac said when he was in Rikers Island, they didn't come visit him. I think years later, they said, oh, we didn't have IDs or something like that. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. But all of this stuff, Pac is like, come on, man, you're not coming to visit me. I'm in prison. Somebody had a key, to the door, his wife's house. I mean, somebody opened the apartment with the key, a key. I don't know if it's that key, you know what I mean? But jewelry was missing. His wife wasn't a street woman at all. I think she was a lawyer, Keisha. She freaking out, like, who entered my apartment? They knew the time she go to work and stuff like that, so they came at a time when she was at work. Pop felt like he knew these things, and that's what he done. So I think he had a right not to go to funeral if he felt like this is what happened. It's a lot of stuff is not adding up. There's a lot of questions that not answered. He had every right to feel that way. So Pop felt that way. He felt like something because he knew him. He knows personality. He knows character. He knew him. They was like best friends. And Pop really believed that he knew what was going to happen, or he was acting shady. Pop really felt. I won't say that I ever heard Pop said that he set him up or anything like that. I'm not going to go that far. I never heard Pop say that, but he felt like a lot of stuff wasn't adding up. Even the point where we was at Jasmine Guy house, and Stretch came there and said to him, I just spoke to such and such, and he said, you don't want to go to war. You don't got your money right. Like friends don't do. Like how friends bringing a message from your enemy. It's supposed to have been like such and such said, you don't want to go to war unless you got your money right. Then I slapped him. You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm talking about. That's how friends supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, but you come and sending a message as if this is what he said. Like, so it was a lot of strangeness, a lot of stuff that didn't add up. So Pac had a right to feel that way. Yeah. So we don't know. I can't really say he had something to do with it. You know what I mean? We can't. I'm talking about Pac perspective from what we seen. That's how he felt. Was he right? Was he wrong? We don't know, because time can go by, things can change. People would have probably got more information. You know, like many years, people thought Tut shot him. You remember that? Like Pac even rapped about it. The word on the streets, Tut set him up. Then come to find out, you know, Tut is home. He doing an interview. He like, man, I would have never touched a person like Tupac. He said, when we was on the street, we was raised to respect the Black Panthers and their family. We looked up to people like Pac. And when I heard that interview, he seemed like he was genuine. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to say Pac perspective at that time, he thought Tut shot him. You know what I mean? He thought Stretch had something to do with it. You know, it hit home because he knew Stretch personally. And because he knew him personally, and he said a lot of stuff wasn't adding up, Pac seen something that, you know, Ed Lover didn't see.